Okay, so every single influencer online is absolutely broke. So here's how you're going to be stepped aside from the crowd and literally make 10 times more than everybody with absolutely no audience. So there's a huge wave going viral on Twitter right now of influencer coaches, gurus getting exposed for either scamming or not making the amount of money they claim to make. And let's face it, deep down, you know that 80% of people who flex their numbers online are literally full of shit. And high following count does not mean credible information. But what if I told you that you could be making more than these influencers actually make, but without having an audience? So, for example, this is one of our clients. It's literally a dead Twitter account where we barely post with less than 400 followers. Here you can see it on the screen right here. But he's been closing $3,000 deals all in DMs. And here's literally a screenshot of our DM conversation where we're freaking out where he landed the client. Now, we've gotten multiple clients to over $3,000 in their first week with zero audience, zero content, and zero brand, all while influencers with 50,000 followers are struggling to make rent. Now, the game isn't what they told you, and in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you why building an audience first is the reason most experts stay broke and what route you actually need to take to successfully make it in info without scams and lies. And by the end of the video, you'll understand why content is a trap, how to validate your offer before spending months building, and the exact system we use to turn expertise into cash without an audience. So for example, let me show you what's actually happening in the influencer space right now. Now, if you're on online money info Twitter, you would have seen some of these posts right here. I'll have them on the screen and now you can stop and rewind the video if you actually want to have a closer look if you haven't seen these yet. Now, you've probably felt this. You follow someone teaching how to make money, you buy their course, and then you find out they're not even doing what they're teaching. They're making money by selling you the dream and not by executing the method. But what nobody talks about is even the ones who aren't scamming, they're still fucking broke. They have 100,000 followers, millions of views, and they're making $5,000 a month. And the reason why is because they don't understand the actual game. The problem isn't that they're scamming. The problem is that they're fundamentally misunderstanding how to turn expertise into money. They think audience equals income, but that just does not work that way. So the mistake that everyone makes is they think the path is building an audience first, making content, launching the offer, and then making the money. And that's just totally backwards. And it's exactly why you are still stuck. Our agency works with different industries, and a lot of them aren't necessarily viral. For example, game developer, zero personal brand, dead Discord server, however, managed to close $3,000 in 1 week with only DMs. Video editor, launched a high ticket, made $15,000 in 2 weeks, and a low ticket community on the back end with $2,000 in MRR. Trading creator, we took him to 10,000 subs, rebuilt his funnel, made $30,000 on launch with paid webinars, 100% show rate, 30% conversions, and 100% close rate. Now, here's some of the receipts on the screen. Now, you can stop and rewind again if you actually want to take a closer look. On top of that, faceless Telegram channel, teaching Telegram monetization to the Russian market. With 4,000 people as cold audience, and we promoted the low ticket offer for literally 5 days, which equaled to a $6,000 launch. Now, none of these people needed millions of followers. They needed a system that prioritizes cash validation first. The content first model has you spending 6 to 12 months building an audience, hoping people will buy when you finally launch. You're optimizing for metrics that literally do not matter, like views, likes, followers, instead of the only important metric is if you can close somebody with your offer. You're literally shooting in the dark. You don't know if your offer will actually work and you don't know if people will pay. You're gambling months of your life on a literal guess. Now, expertise arbitrage flips this completely. You validate the offer first by closing people in DMs. You get paid to figure out what works, and then you build the infrastructure with cash and data on what actually converts. You're literally not guessing anymore or hoping. You're proving it works and then scaling it. Now, this is how you make 10 times more than influencers with 100,000 followers because they're optimizing for attention while you're optimizing for cash flow because at the end of the day, attention does not pay rent, cash does. So if you're watching this and thinking, okay, I have a skill like game dev, editing, design, trading, whatever it may be, but I have no idea how to package this into an offer or how to close people in DMs without sounding desperate, that's exactly what we help with. We've built the system specifically for experts who have the skill but zero audience. We show you how to position the offer, where to find the right people, and what to say in DMs, and finally how to close without having a funnel or a following. Now, there's a link in the description to book a call where we'll map out your entire expertise arbitrage strategy, what you're selling, who you're selling to, and how to get your first cash in the next week or 2 weeks. Now, if you're serious about monetizing your expertise without wasting months building an audience, just make sure you book that call. Now, let me show you the math that you're totally ignoring and why viral content will not make you rich if you don't fix the fundamentals first. For example, let's say you get 100,000 views with a 1% click conversion, which equals to 1,000 landing page visits. And then on that, you get a 2% conversion rate, which will equal to realistically 20 sales, which does sound good until you realize that if your offer doesn't resonate, that 2% conversion is literally going to be a 0.2% conversion. And now you're going to get only 2 sales from the 100,000 views. And to be honest, I mean, congrats, you literally just wasted 6 months of your life. Because the truth that nobody wants to hear is if you can't close one person in a DM conversation, your funnel will not close 500 people. Content doesn't fix a broken offer, it literally amplifies the failure at scale. Because the DM is the ultimate bullshit detector. If someone who already knows you, trusts you, and understands the problem won't buy, your audience of strangers definitely won't. So you first have to start by selling one-on-one in DMs without a funnel or a landing page, just conversations with people in your network or niche communities. For example, your offer will be something like, I help specific avatar achieve specific result through my method, like making X amount of dollars in Y number of weeks. And that's it. It's super simple and fucking direct. Now, one of our clients asked us whether we should make it more specific or not, and the answer is no, because you don't even know what the market wants to learn from you specifically and what people struggle with the most. For example, if you do 3D animations, you don't know if you should be selling an offer packaging blueprint so that they could get great positioning in a company, or teaching the actual skill of 3D animation, because those are two complete separate offers. Now, we only build the skeleton of your offer based on your strongest abilities, but only get into the specifics after we get the first 2 to 3 clients and exact case studies. Now, you work with those 2 to 3 clients, figuring out what works, what they struggle with, what language they use, and what objections come up, because this is the market research, but now you're making $3,000 to $10,000 doing it instead of guessing for free. And by the time you've closed 3 people, you already have proof your offer works, testimonials, refined messaging that converts, and data on what the market actually wants. And now you build content, and now you can create a funnel, and now you can fucking start running those ads that everybody tells you about. But you're not guessing anymore. You know exactly what converts because you've closed people one-on-one. Like with our video editor client, we launched a high ticket offer after validating in DMs, which literally led to $15,000 in 2 weeks, and the offer was already proven. And then we launched the low ticket community, and then we had a $2,000 in MRR within a month, because the content doesn't create the offer creates the content strategy. Now, again, here's the math that you need to remember. An influencer who has 100,000 followers will make $3,000 a month with brand deals and a low ticket community. Now, an expert with 0 to 400 followers will be making $30,000 a month with a high ticket validated offer. Now the influencer is optimizing for attention while the expert is optimizing for closable offers and cash flow, because attention is such a fucking dogshit metric, while cash is the only metric that really fucking matters. So if we take a look at the traditional model, you're going to be spending 6 months building, then launch and pray that somebody buys, then maybe make $5,000 and wonder if it was all worth it. Now with expertise arbitrage, you can close $3,000 deals within your first week. Within week 4, you already cash collect $10,000 in total. Month 3, you can launch publicly with a proven offer. And month 6, you can multiply that revenue streams with zero fucking doubt. Now, here's the decision you have to make and what we actually already covered. Most influencers are either broke or lying. The one making real money aren't doing it through content. They're literally doing it through validated high ticket offers, because content amplifies what already works. It doesn't create what works. So expertise arbitrage fixes this by flipping the model: cash first, build second, and validate your offer in DMs. Get paid to refine it, and then scale with content and an infrastructure once you have proof and fucking cash flow. So you have 2 options right now. Option 1, you can keep consuming content about building an audience, spend the next 6 to 12 months posting, hoping you go viral, praying someone buys when you finally launch. and join the crowd of experts with skills who stay broke because they're optimizing for the wrong metrics. Now, option two, you can book the call with us where we map out your expertise arbitrage plan and you start validating your offer this week in DMs. Then you can close your first client within 14 days and prove to yourself that people will actually pay you for what you already know because you already have the expertise, you already have the skill. The only difference between you and the people making $50,000 a month with no audience is that they stopped waiting for permission to monetize and starting validating their offers in DMs. Now, the link for the call is in the description. We'll show you exactly how to position your expertise, where to find the clients, and what to say to close them without having a funnel, a content strategy, or any sort of following. But this is not for everyone. If you don't actually have a skill that's proven to work, either for you or people you've taught, this will absolutely not help you. But if you're sitting on real expertise and you're just stuck on how to monetize it without building an audience first, this is the fastest path to cash. So stop optimizing for views, start optimizing for closes, and just fucking book the call.